Brave warriors, Clifford and Northumberland. Come, make him stand upon this molehill here. What? Was it you who would be England's king? Was it you who revelled in our Parliament and made preachment of your high descent? Where are your mess of sons to back you now? The wanton Edward? The lusty George? And where's that valiant crook-back prodigy, Dicky your boy? And where's your darling Rutland? Look, York, I had valiant Clifford with rapier's point made issue from the bosom of the boy, and if thine eyes can water for his death, I give thee this to dry thy cheeks withal. Alas, poor York, why art thou so patient, man? Thou shouldst be mad, and I to make thee mad do mock thee thus. York cannot speak unless he wear a crown. A crown for York. Hold you his hands whilst I do set it on. Ay, marry, sir, now he looks like a king. This is he who took King Henry's chair, and this was he his adopted heir. Off with the crown, and with the crown his head, and whilst we breathe, take time to do him dead. The only indulgent thing I did once was, it was a couple of weeks after I heard Tommy had passed. I drove to Norfolk even though I had no real need to. I found myself standing before acres of unploughed earth, and all along the fence, all sorts of rubbish had caught and tangled. It was like the debris you get on the seashore. The wind must have carried some of it for miles and miles, flapping about, torn plastic sheeting and bits of old carrier bags. That was the only time as I stood there, looking at the empty fields. I started to imagine just a little fantasy, because this was Norfolk after all, and it was only a couple of weeks since I lost him. I was thinking about the rubbish, the flapping plastic in the branches, the shoreline of odd stuff and caught all along the fencing, and I half closed my eyes and imagined that this was the place where everything I'd lost since my childhood had washed up, and I was now standing here in front of it all. And if I waited long enough, a tiny figure would appear on the horizon across the field and gradually get larger until I see it was Tommy, and he'd wave, maybe even call. The fantasy never got beyond that. I didn't let it, and though the tears were rolling down my face, I wasn't sobbing or out of control. I just waited a bit, then turned back to the car to drive off to wherever it was I was supposed to be.